Hello everyone, my name is Jillian and welcome to the Post Surgery Care of Atlanta YouTube channel. I am the owner of Post Surgery Care of Atlanta, and this video is we're going to be doing some quick highlights on how Post Surgery Care of Atlanta began. How did it all unveil to what it is now and what it will become? So I would say it started 2008 at Chattahoochee Technical College when I was taking up medical assistant. I taken it up and got through the course and graduated 2009, and just really took that moment and said, okay, I'm now officially a certified medical assistant and I am now ready to go to work. And so I went to work, started at an urgent care in Dallas, Georgia. That's where I was living. I was living in Howard, Georgia at the time. So Dallas was just like only like a skip hop away. So it was like 5 minutes. And so I was working in the urgent care 5 days a week. Um, I would say 12 to 14 hour shift each day, Monday through Friday. So it was hard work. I mean, it was a lot of hard work, but I learned so much. I had a chance to meet all different types of patients. I had a chance to do different tasks, work in the front desk, work in the back office, doing triage, just everything that urgent cares are doing now. I was able to do. We had X-ray, so we were a fully functional urgent care in a small town, Paulding County. So I was there for about a few months, and then I moved on to Wellstar healthcare system. And at the time, I was not familiar with Wellstar healthcare system. I did do my externship there, but I was from Atlanta, Georgia. So all the healthcare system that I was familiar with was Crawford Hospital at the time before it became Emory, Grady Hospital, DeKalb Medical. They've been around for a while. So Wellstar was a new system for me, but it was the only one in the area. So it's like, hey, everyone goes to Wellstar to work and to get their medical treatments. So I started there in 2011, April 2011, and I started as a float pool medical assistant. So I had a chance to travel to different physician groups. I did general surgery, neurosurgery, I've done women's health, I've done OBGYN, obstetrician, OBGYN. I've done infectious disease. I've done vascular. I've done cardiovascular, health physician groups. I have really had an opportunity to work in large variations of different physician groups in the Wellstar Health System, and primary care, a room, rheumatology. I really had a chance to really get a lot of experience, and so I did that for about a couple of years, and then around about 2014, I started to ponder about entering into the home care industry. I really felt that I had mastered the skills that was needed, or at least have been introduced to a lot of the different variations of the healthcare field in the sense of physician groups, urgent cares, hospitals. I really had a good grasp on there, and so I wanted something different. I wanted something to kind of keep my spark my interest about the healthcare. And so I said, well, I'm thinking about trying out the home care industry, and what does that consist of? And I didn't really have any prior knowledge about home care. When I was in medical assistant school, they didn't mention about home care. So all it was working in a healthcare system, working with the doctors side by side, working with nurses, other um, physician, healthcare disciplines. So I didn't really have a point of contact, and who could I really talk to about it? And so I just decided and said, well, I'm gonna just see if I can just start working at a home care agency as a non CNA. If I can get in just with my certified medical assistant license, and just to kind of test drive and see if it's something that I will like to um, further in actually going to school to get my CNA license. And I would tell you, January 2015, when I started, and that first assignment, I would never forget. It was what, the first 15 minutes, I knew. I said, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is it. This is this is where I'm going to blossom. And so I started there, worked with the home care agency. It was Visiting Angels. And I would say around about April or March, I made a decision that I was going to pursue my CNA license. And so April, I started my CNA pursuit for my license. And so I got in. It was a 10-day program over a 3 week period. And so it was a sacrifice because I had a young daughter at the time. Um, she's much older now. She's about 15 now. So I want to say that's been 7 years ago. So she was 8. So it definitely was a sacrifice in making time to go to school, and working, whenever I can, because I had a young daughter, just to kind of keep things going. But I did it. I made it happen, and took my boards on May 15, 2015, and passed the first go round. And I studied so hard for that. I had my daughter, she was helping me. Oh my gosh. And she really had a chance to really see the evolution of her mother. And when I first started medical assistant school, she was a baby. She really was. I just had her 2007. So she was a year when I started, a year and a few months when I started medical assistant school. So her seeing this part of the journey where she could remember of her mom going into CNA school and finishing it, and now it's like, well, what's next? Now that we have the CNA license, like, well, of course, we're going into home care. And so I said, well, I want to do hospice. So I continued to work with Visiting Angels for a good bit of time, but I was applying to different hospice agencies, and one in particular gave me the opportunity. It was Camella Healthcare Hospice and Health um, Agency, and they're no longer in business now. They were actually based out in Louisiana, but they had a Kennesaw location in Kennesaw, Georgia. And so the office manager at the time, she gave me the opportunity because I didn't have any hospice experience. I was newly a CNA, no nursing home experience at that time. And so she really took a shot, and she said, okay, I'm going to give you this opportunity. And I would really say that working in the hospice environment, it really upgraded my skills. It really did. I really had a chance to really experience what it's like to have a schedule, and no one was on. It wasn't the micromanaging type of atmosphere. It was, you had your pad, you go see your patients, and once you're done, you go home. Yes, of course, if we have meetings, you come in, but it was definitely a self-managing type of position, and I really enjoyed that. And I did that for about, I would say, about a couple of years, and then 2016 of September, I did pursue my hospice and Politan nurse aide certification, and I passed, and I still have those certifications as well. Um, and so I will say October 2016. Well, after I got my hospice certification in September, I started really to think about getting starting up a home care business. I was like, well, I now have, I have my certification in medical assistant, got some experience in that. I have experience in home care. I have my CNA license, and I was like, hey, I have a couple of I have some, I have a certification in hospice. So I was gaining grounds on having that experience in the healthcare, and not just from a healthcare system, but also with hospice, and getting that one-on-one, really learning how to manage a schedule by myself, not having a manager kind of like overseeing me to make sure that I'm doing my job. Because I went to work, I love the freedom that we had, and we were getting paid paid also by mileage reimbursement, and also I had a pretty good hourly rate. And so I was like, well, let's take it up another notch. Let's see about starting my business. And so I went through the steps, and got in touch with UGA. They have, and they still do, a small business division where they assist people who want to start their business. And I forgot his name, but it was an older Caucasian man, and we met at the Paulding County Chamber of Commerce. And it's so funny how it all kind of came full circle again in a different form. And I would never forget what he told me after we met and we sat down, and he helped me through the whole formation of legitimizing my business, which at that time was Zora's Touch LLC. And he told me, he said, this is the easy part. Now the hard part is getting clients, and not just getting clients, but maintaining those clients and all the other aspects that go along with it. And he was so right. He really, really was. That was the easy part. And I was so excited when I got it legitimized. We went through it. I had to wait. I think it took about 7 days at that time. It was 2016, so it was definitely pre-COVID. So got it back in 7 days. Everything came back, ready to go. I had got my EIN number. I got my EIN number, I want to say, probably like October. So everything went through probably November of 2016 of the LLC aspect of it. And when I started Zora's Touch, I really didn't have like a launch date. It was definitely fly by the seat of my pants. I was still working at the hospice. At the time, they were bought out by Encompass Health, so I was still working with them, and just legitimize my business, Zora's Touch LLC. And I really didn't have, like I said, I didn't really have a launch date when I was going to launch my business. But when 2017 came along, and around by July, my business, my position started to phase out. And so August 1st, I decided to say, well, hey, I'm going to go ahead and launch my business August 1st, because, hey, I'm not going to be working with this hospice company anymore. So let's see what happened. And my first client came from Facebook. It was from my business page when I was underneath Zora's Touch, and it was a young guy. Young guy was in a motorcycle accident, and it was the beginning. It was the prelude of what what soon became December 2018, I changed the name from Zora's Touch LLC to Post Surgery Care of Atlanta. And that was the beginning of the open door, where the doors really opened up of opportunities. People truly knew then who was my audience, because before then I was kind of in that stage of where, hey, I'll just do personal care assistant. Um, but it still wasn't right, because it was definitely more geared into the geriatric. And I got to the place where I said, well, I don't want to service geriatric patients. I want to service more younger people. And with time and fine tuning things, my audience has evolved to 30 30 to years old. Now I do have some that are a little bit older, in their 60s, but they are definitely very they have a lot of vitality of their lifestyle, vibrant, very sharp-minded. So they definitely were able to meet the cut with Post Surgery Care of Atlanta, because we definitely gear more of the younger population, those who are definitely more prone to short-term care versus long-term care. And I just wanted to take this opportunity and just give you all just the backdrop, the story behind how Post Surgery Care of Atlanta came about. That's truly is the short version of how it all began. But just for the sake of time, I just wanted just to give you all the snapshots of how it began and leading up to this point. Definitely, there were a lot more other moving parts and situations and events that were happening, but I wanted to kind of keep it in a snapshot of how it begins, and how and where it is now. And I just wanted to let you all know, we service patients in orthopedics, transplant, cosmetics, bariatric, cardiothoracic, vascular surgery, and neurosurgery. So those 6 areas that we focus in on for patients returning home from surgery. And definitely check out our website, www.postsurgeryatlanta.org. Please make sure that you like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Definitely follow us on our other social media platforms. They're listed in our description box. So definitely make sure that you follow us on here and also on our other social media platforms. And again, thank you so much for tuning into this video to learn about how did it all start, how did it go from an ideal to not having an ideal, just kind of want to get into the industry, to now having the thought of going into the home care, then the thought of, hey, starting my business, then the thought of having a business, and then renaming the business to what it is now today, Post Surgery Care of Atlanta, where aftercare matters the most. So I thank you all again for tuning into this video, and I wish you all nothing but blessings, and stay tuned to the next video. And again, please like, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends and family, and stay tuned to the next one.